of them can.
Alright, next game.
What's our next game?
Gradius 2.
Ah, Gradius. I love the third one in particular. That's the one I played the most.
Gradius had sequels?
It had a couple, yeah. I think there was like 5 of them. The third one I love, if only because the slowdown was actually helpful. It was one of those things where bad programming saved the day. Yeah, I enjoy an occasional shmup. I'm a big fan of like Radiant Silvergun. I still hope I still hold out that will get a Steam release one day. I mean, if Ikaruga can get a Steam release, why the hell can't Radiant Silvergun?
Both games I never heard of.
They're Japanese shmup. Ikaruga's like legendary for how difficult it is.
I just heard of weird. I know some normal ones. I heard of a lot of weird shooters, but none of those ones include you like.
They were definitely they're definitely not as well known as the more other famous ones, but Ikaruga got a very limited release in America. It was on the GameCube, but it really didn't get a name for itself until it launched. It was on XBLA. It was one of the first titles to actually get on there, and that's when people really did discover it. Yeah, Radiant Silvergun. I don't think they even got a release in America. I think they got a Dreamcast release, and that was it. But that also
tail end of the Dreamcast.
Yeah, anything at that point wasn't going to sell well. Yeah, Radiant was definitely that. Ikaruga was more famous because, like I said, it got the XBLA re-release, and like I said, a lot of people found out about it that way, and it was an awesome.
There is a game that I did like a lot that was called Raiden Project. Or Raiden Project.
Oh, for the PlayStation, yeah, I got that. It was both Raiden 1 and 2.
Yep. That was a fun game.
Oh yes, definitely.
It was a long box game.
Long box?
Yeah,
what does that mean?
Originally the PlayStation games came in larger CD cases, kind of like the Sega CD.
The 3DO had those too.
3DO had the extra long boxes.
You know what?
The Sega CD.
Say what you will about the 3DO. I mean, it had a lot of good games for it, and it had a hardware that really outperformed the Sega CD. It just had a really shitty price tag.
Most games.
It had a really fucking bad price tag. I still believe that.
So boxes where usually you find a PC game that was with floppy in, right? That's the kind of box I'm thinking of.
No, let me show you what a long box is.
Well, and I'm kind of the weirdo who loved FMV games. That's probably why I have such a heart for the 3DO, because 3DO really had nothing but FMV games. I love that shit. I will defend those games till the day I die.
Okay, here is an example of what long boxes look like. The ones that are in the paper boxes and the one in plastic boxes.
Yeah, I thought about this data. I thought about this for one of my things. After we do Brother from Another Marvel, I always want to try to do FMV games with those. Because some of those are goddamn comedy gold. Some of those might be interesting. Harvester is brilliant. And it is just brilliant.
Yeah, now you see what the long boxes look like.
That's what CDs used to come in.
The extreme games make me think of a longer version of a jewel case type box.
That's what they were. That's what long box means. It could be considered the same thing of when other movies came in these kind of size boxes. They were called the big box.
Oh yeah,
mostly porn companies made them.
Not just porn, really shitty Italian films.
Right.
Horror movies and sometimes animated cartoons by, let's see, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Thundercats. They all went under the Family Home Entertainment label.
I think the reason was because they had the white box and the really dirty stuff had the black one.
Yeah, I'll be back in a second.
That was how the system worked. It was like I said, the reason that they were all black because I think those were the kind of movies. But when video stores existed, they always had the back room that you would buy all the really nasty shit.
Yeah,
you would have all of
the
it.
curtain.
One with the curtain had the star on the door. You'd buy Caligula. You'd buy whatever the hell, Cannibal Ferox, those kind of things.
Or porn.
Porn. To be fair, the weirdo who would buy Caligula and masturbate to that to this day, I don't know if that exists.
Brad Jones.
Having seen the film in its entirety, I've seen the entire film uncut. I actually have the unrated version on DVD. I actually paid a lot of money for that too.
Here's the thing, though.
I love that movie because it's so lavishly produced and it's so goddamn insane.
Here's the thing that you gotta understand about this Wheel Girl is that long boxes have a history that they thought they were trying to be different in a way that they thought they would work, but until they found out something. It costs too much money to produce them.
Well, one of the reasons I think they did it was because I've said this, every new medium always takes after the one that comes before, so I'm assuming they wanted to replicate the big boxes that VHSs used to come in.
I think even in the big boxes that PC games came in.
Oh yeah. I forgot they had those. Yeah, those came in really. Those were really unnecessary.
Yeah, you got to think about that. PC games, when they had CDs, came in these big boxes, so they decided to replicate it until they found out. Wait, why bother with that? All we need to do is just put it inside a CD case.
Well,
and it worked.
A lot of those PlayStation games were just ports of PC games. Like a lot of them were.
Right. A lot of them were for other games as well. Like
when Commander was ported, yeah, a couple of them were.
Neon, when you mainly run FMVs, I mainly got stuck in my head because I recently played both of them. Are Zord Nemesis and Zord Gradius Inquisitor.
Are those FMVs?
They have FMVs.
Do you know what FMV means?
Do you know what an
FMV
is?
Motion videos, yes. Yes, it is, because commercially, Grand Visitor has the guy who we call Discount. Now, Tim Curry playing the Grand Inquisitor.
Oh shit, I might actually have to track that down now, knowing Tim Curry's in another video game. He was in that game too.
No, Discount. No, guy
I thought you meant Tim Curry. Okay,
I said the guy we call Discount, Tim Curry. Or something like that.
Like I said, I was into stuff like, my favorite stuff is the stuff like the Night Trap, Sewer Shark, Corpse Killer. Just this really sleazy bullshit that were like really crappy B movies made into video games. Being a huge fan of B movies, that is like fucking amazing to me. Corpse Killer's awesome. It's literally you and a Jamaican kill zombies made by an ex-Nazi. The most offensive Jamaican stereotype I've ever seen in anything. He does everything. He has dreadlocks, he talks the accent, he eats jerk chicken, he smokes weed.
See, since I'm getting back into comic books, whenever you kept saying long box, I kept thinking the long box that you would put comic books in.
Yeah, there's that.
I actually have a short box, which is almost full.
Speaking of comics, I've been reading. I've been reading just books that I'm part of a literature club on Facebook, and they brought up that Frank Miller's new book is called Batman: The Master Race.
Yes, I saw that.
Dear Lord, I am scared to know if this is going to end up like some form of Nazi propaganda.
To be fair, he did do Holy Terror, if anyone ever read that.
Holy Terror! Holy Terror is where you get when DC goes, no, we do not want Batman and destroy.
Alright, can you not interrupt again?
It will either be amazing or... I can see it going to either one of two ways. Either one, Batman is Batman is a neo-Nazi, or 2, Batman fights neo-Nazis. If it's the second one, it's gonna be awesome.
So you know what? It's weird to me because I actually did read Holy Terror, and the weird part is people said it was offensive. I was laughing because it's so offensive and so tasteless that it's goddamn hysterical. Like, this is written by someone who lives in their basement and writes conspiracy theories and shoots up horse tranquilizers.
Yeah, that's pretty much the mindset of insane Frank Miller.
It's literally written by a madman, an absolute fucking madman who thinks anyone who's Islamic, a terrorist and rapist, who thinks that it's insanity. It's pure insanity. It's almost brilliant.
I wonder what would have happened if DC was okay with it and let Batman be your main character.
Well, I'm talking about the one he did, not the Batman Holy Terror, the other comic he did. Yeah.
No, this one was going to be Batman Telltale. DC went, no, you're not doing that.
Still got to publish though, which fucking scares me knowing that there's someone out there who will publish this man's ramblings.
But they think, hey, this guy's a famous comic book author. How hard can it be to give him a free book?
Have you read Holy Terror?
Yes, I have.
Okay, I've read the entire thing, and it was breathtaking.
I watched Lacar's review of it.
It's really, you know, that saves you the money, because I read the thing. I bought it like a grown-up and read it word for word. Although it is more fun to read it, because you can just picture Frank Miller saying this nonsense while he's like, you know, he's in his bomb shelter, thinking that, I just pictured as this mad NRA member who shoots up drugs 24/7 and hangs out on places like Stormfront, or, what's that place, the conspiracy theory forum that we all make fun of? Godlike Productions.
Oh, I remember reading this one webcomic that they did a one-off where they take Frank Miller, they lock him in a room, and there's a couple men with guns, and they give him a laptop, and they say, "All right, Frank, you need to write a story with a woman included in it, but not have her be a prostitute." and they're sitting there with guns drawn, watching every letter he types. So first he types W, then H-O. So it's like, okay, who? And then he immediately just types horse.
And then they shoot him, don't they?
I think the comic cut off at that point.
Fuck that, you know, because like I said, I don't read a lot of comics, but Miller fascinates me because I'm a huge fan of writers who are just fucking nuts and are like, I know that's terrible, but I'm a huge fan of writers who are just insane, like completely in their own fantasy world, and he fascinates me to read the shit he writes, and like, he believes all of this too. Like, this isn't just fantasy. He genuinely believes, like, I seriously think Holy Terror is his manifesto. This is his manifesto. There was that one Batman comic he wrote where I think Batman was like a sociopath.
What are you, dense? What are you, retarded or something?
I love it.
Don't you know who I am?
I fucking
Goddamn Batman.
I fucking love that. Like, I don't think I'm pissed, but like I said, I read this and because I'm a huge fan of just people who are fucking crazy, and that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I think that was the one where it was all about rock and rolls. Is like gateway to crime or something.
Oh yeah. What the hell was that called?
Fortunate Son, I think.
I think so.
Fortunate Son. Still, if that new Batman, I hope it is. Part of me wants it to be Batman's neo-Nazi. That just makes it more fun. Because then I know Miller pretty much has lost his goddamn mind. Like, well, completely lost it. Like, at this point, like, he shouldn't no longer hold anything sharper than a crayon.
I don't know. Crayons can be rather sharp in the hands of certain people.
It's sad because I did enjoy a bit of his work. Like, I like his Sin City book. I do like his Dark Knight Returns book a lot, because I think he was able to take the character and do something different with it, which is what I like seeing. writers who take established material and put their own little spin on it. I like that a lot, especially if it's good. Yeah, and then he lost his mind. He went nuts. Seriously, Theta, if you can send me that comic where the whole point is... Like, can you send me that comic at some point if you can find it? The,
Okay.
Man with guns drawn, riding woman character who isn't a prostitute. I just picture this now.
It'll take me a couple minutes, but I think I can find it.
Please, I know friends who goddamn laugh their ass off on that show. Give them something to chuckle at for a little bit. I seriously, because I hate bringing this book up, but I seriously thought about doing a psychology report when I read, because I'm in a psychology class. I was seriously consider doing one on Frank Miller for a while. On just, like, how this guy is completely mad.
Found it.
Please send me this. I must read this. You know another good, fun, you know another insane comic I love? That one where Superman fights Hitler. I love that. That's just...
Daredevil battles Hitler?
No, that was great, but anyone remember the Superman one? It was the one where fought Twin Hitler. That's goddamn, like, that's another example of fucked up crazy shit I love.
At World's End, I believe?
Dude, that is written by someone who was on all the drugs.
Well, the original series was also written on all the drugs Superman's Earth is part of.
Probably because I'm the kind of person who is just willing to look at anything, and if it's insane enough, I'll laugh at it, even if I enjoy the material it's based off of.
That gun was massive!
Like, that's the thing, okay, like, seriously, if I describe, like, let me describe that. Superman, who looks like Santa Claus, fights Twin Hitler with a giant chain gun. Like, does that not sound hysterical?
And has a team of who are fronts helping him.
What does Superman need with a chain gun? He's Superman! He can go fast enough to reverse time by reversing the Earth's rotation.
That was only happened in one movie.
You know what? But again, it's still not as dumb as the Emery Racing Kiss from the end of the second movie. It's still not. Yeah. That's still the dumbest. That's still the dumbest power he ever had. Well, at least they ever gave him.
Yeah.
Although there was that one scene with there's a scene that just baffles me that they never brought that up again. There was a scene where they're about to fight, Zod and him are going to fight at the Fortress of Solitude, and he throws that transparent S off his chest and it just disappears after hitting Zod. And I go, wait, what? This is never brought up again. This never gets mentioned even after it happens. It's just like, what the fuck was that?
It just happens and everyone, all the audience goes, what was that? And
no one even questions it.
Everyone goes, well, just happened.
Yeah, no one questions it. It just happens and they move on. And it's one of the weirdest things I've seen in movies. Just because, what the fuck?
By the way, in the deleted scene, Zod people are not dead. They're just arrested.
There's a lot of deleted scenes just because, like I said, after Richard Donner left that then, the production became an absolute hellhole for everyone. Yeah, I swear, like, I think about, like, after he left, like 75, I think like 25% of the movie was actually reshot and recut. It was a nightmare. Gene Hackman left in protest. Yeah. Yeah, the production of Superman 2 is actually kind of fascinating if you break it down.
Yeah. But still not a disaster compared to 3 and 4.
Well, 4 is funny because to me it was produced by Canon, and anyone who knows Canon knows exactly. Basically, Canon is one of those. What they were known for is that they were known for making a lot of garbage movies, but I think they were very infamous for was they would take the budgets they would get from studios and they would cut it up and put it into different projects, which they had a bunch working at several at the time. Like They got like, I think they got like $30 million for Superman 4, and they cut the budget in fourth so they could make 3 other movies at the same time.
I wonder what those 3 other movies were that...
I know one of them. I know one of those movies.
Masters of the Universe.
Yep.
It's their... That was their... I think that was like their last real film, because that film... After that film flopped, they were done. Like, that was their last gambit.
So, they cut a budget and gave part of it to the film that killed them.
My favorite thing, I watched a documentary on them, and I love they talked about when they made Over the Top, the Sylvester Stallone arm wrestling movie. I remember the screenwriter is at the premiere. He's telling the story. I was at the premiere. I watched the film when it was ended. When it ended, I started crying, and the producer put his hand on my shoulder and says, "We did a great job." And I was going to tell him, "No, because you ruined my career, and I'll never work at this business again."
Ouch!
Oh, it's
Nice.
great. It's a documentary. I love the other scene. They did a movie that had William Friedkin, the guy who did The Exorcist. The president watches a screening of this movie, and he tells Friedkin, "Oh, this movie's irreleasable." And then Friedkin tells him with a straight face, "Okay, you say this movie's irreleasable. Yet I've walked through your office and I've seen at least 30 posters for movies that are completely unreleasable that you have released. So don't fucking tell me that this thing's unreleasable."
People make movies that make no sense.
Oh, another great thing he did they did a Chuck Norris movie about Iran, which was a very touchy subject at the time. And they made it as racist and sleazy as possible.
Well,
It's a fucking... this company's insane. Like, they've done Masters of the Universe. Like, I love that movie. That's on Netflix right now. That's actually a very fun movie.
reminding me of Superman movies is the one that never got made, but people are still so fascinated by, was one that was going to be directed by Tim Burton and have Nicolas Cage as Superman.
Oh, I know Kevin Smith told a great story about meeting the producer and how insane the whole meeting was.
John Peter, I believe.
Yeah, John Peters, who went
He was
on
the director, I believe. Yeah, he went on to do Wild West.
and then had a giant spider in it, because that was one of the fun parts about that story. He wanted, for some reason, he would desperately wanted a giant spider in the movie, just because he just wanted, like...
And he got his wish. Maybe not an actual giant spider like Gatekeep. Hope they get a mechanical one.
My favorite moment of that whole story was when Cass was talking about, so he told me I want a giant spider in the movie. And I'm like, why? He was like, do you want, like, you know spiders are the fiercest insects in the animal kingdom, right? And then later in the story, he does the same thing. He's like, I want him to fight polar bears.
What?
It's this great
Why?
story. Like, go look up the story of Kevin Smith talking about writing this movie, because
He said
it's
he
fascinating.
He said he wanted a King Kong-esque reveal of the giant spider, where they open the gates and instead of King Kong, there's a huge fucking spider.
Just a minute, you want a King Kong movie with, instead of a monkey, you get a spider.
They wanted that. They wanted that for the Superman. Well, John Peter wanted that for the Superman movie. Also, there was 3 rules.
Yeah.
There was 3
I wouldn't know
rules
if there's a
regarding.
script exists.
Shut up, Wheel Girl, be quiet.
Really?
Let Reese say what he wants to say.
There was also 3 rules that the director John Peter wanted.
No, he was
Kevin
the
to do.
producer. He wasn't the director.
I thought he was the director.
No, he was the producer.
Okay.
They didn't have a director at that point.
Okay. There was 3 rules for this script. He didn't want to see him fly. He didn't want to see him in that outfit, and of course the giant spider in the 3rd act.
He also wanted him to fight polar bears. That was another small detail.
Wait. No flying and no outfit. What?
Yeah.
Why make a Superman movie?
He didn't want to see him in the outfit because he thought he just looked a little too faggy.
Those were his exact words, by the way.
And by the way, John Peter was once Barbara Streisand's hairdresser.
I forgot about that detail.
I want to know why make a Superman movie if you're not gonna have him fly or have a suit that reminds you it's Superman.
Apparently, he just did not know anything about Superman.
Another thing was, I'm pretty sure it was because after keep in mind, Superman 4 bombed horribly, like real bad. And
yeah, this was going to be the re-origin story, wasn't it?
They were going to completely wipe the slate clean after 4, because, like I said, 4 failed horribly.
still got.
Did you ever see
I want
Quest
to
for
find a
Peace?
script of this
I've seen Quest for Peace. It's horrible.
Actually, I was going to ask Wheel Girl, did you see Quest for Peace?
Yes,
Now
I
you-
have seen.
Now
all
you know
the-
why.
Yeah, I know why they wanted to reboot it, but I want to see a script for this insane trip that would have had Nicolas Cage as Superman.
I think the script can be found online. I don't know. I know because usually like scripts for movies like this are pretty easily found online, but I'm not sure about this one because I don't know. I don't know if Kevin Smith ever actually made his public. That was the crazy part. Like, there's all the production photos. They were about to go into production. They were just ready to
so
go.
a script doesn't have to exist.
Yeah, because the costume was there, so everything was in place, and then something happened.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
regarding the thing between Kevin Smith and Tim Burton, watch my Until We Win video of Batman. I took a piece from that. It was I made sure it was under 10 seconds, but yeah, that was it's something to behold.
By the way, there's a documentary out there about the train wreck disaster of the Superman movie.
I know, the guy who did that actually made Metalocalypse, and that alone fascinated me. I've actually seen bits of it. It was pretty damn entertaining. They didn't actually get John Peters for some reason, which disappointed me. Yeah, I forgot he did do Wild Wild West. Another great story about that movie is Patton Oswalt talked about how that's the worst movie ever because he had to work at the MTV when they were promoting that film, and how he had to hear Will Smith's Wild Wild West over and over again for 3 weeks straight, and he lost his mind. He said that because of that. He says because of that, Wild Wild West is the worst movie ever made.
Any song can drive you crazy if you listen to it long enough.
It's horrible too. It's freaking horrendous. Oh, and by the way, the whole promotion that they were doing was like a big bar fight musical number, and it cost $4 million.
Well, it basically its own mini movie.
$4 million to do one fucking stupid promotion. That's what got me. I'm like, really? You could have funded a fucking independent movie with that kind of money.
No, you probably could have funded 4 independent movies with that kind of money.
Yeah.
At the time.
But no wonder that. Jeez, if you can find that him talking about Wild Wild West on YouTube, it's so worth listening. It's just he just describes the scene of chaos and insanity.
Also, if you really, really, really want to do the math, take 250 grand and divide that into the 4.9 million. Was it 4.9 or was it for just 4 million?
He said it was just 4 million. I'm pretty sure there was more, but he just said 4 million. So let's go by what he said.
Okay, do that little division problem, and you will have the answer of how many mall rats could have been shot with that money.
That's another great line for the Kevin Smith when he talked about that film. He thought about Warner Brothers thought, did we just give the Mallrats guy our multi-million-dollar superhero franchise? Dude, how much was Mallrats? How much was the budget on that?
250 grand.
Shit.
And Kevin was only asking for 200.
To be fair, he did shoot Clerks like 23 grand and pretty much did the whole movie himself.
Scott Mosier was just he was beside himself, the fact that it was only 250 grand. It was like, well dude, we filmed Clerks for less, and it was like, well, that's hardly even a movie.
It really isn't, but it's fucking fun. To be fair, like I said, the fact that he made Clerks for 23 grand is fucking impressive. Because, whatever budget, low budget, it still would cost you quite a amount of money, especially, because, you gotta hire it. You gotta get editing equipment, you gotta, well, back then especially, you had to, sound equipment, grips, that kind of thing. Broke a lot of rules, I'm guessing, in terms of... 37. My girlfriend sucks 37 dicks.
In a row?
Try not to suck any any dick on your way to the parking lot. Get back here.
That's still one of the great, Hollywood success stories to me. A guy films a movie for 23 grand out of his own pocket and gets pretty large, like I said, becomes successful.
I don't know which I like better, Clerks or Clerks 2.
That's a tough one. I don't know. I think I did too. I like Clerks one just because the fact that it's such a piece of guerrilla filmmaking. Like, he broke so many rules and still managed to make a really fucking good movie. It really is a guerrilla movie.
I guess we're not talking gorilla in the sense of
No, we're talking
deadly prey.
Well, that's just shit filmmaking. We're talking about a guy like guerrilla in the sense that it's like it because guerrilla, like in warfare, it just breaks all the rules of what you expect. I don't know what the term I'd use, but that's how I look at it. Deadly prey. I don't even know what you call that. Shit filmmaking, probably. I always wondered, did the director do anything else?
What director?
Oh, did you watch Deadly Prey with us, Wheel Girl?
No, I think I wasn't. I forget whether I was late to that time and you were on infomercials, or I had to leave or something, and I plan on trying one more time, and I will practice on not interrupting people.
Better practice. This is...
Yes, I will make sure to not interrupt you guys during it.
I'm laughing now at that scene. Remember? Oh fuck, yeah, Deadly Prey is so much. That's amazing.
That ending.
That was grim, man. Like, for a movie that was as fucking laughable as that.
I think our ending was better though.
No, fucking Zan. Oh, you did that. That was so perfect. Hard cut to credits. Zero transit, just a hard cut right to the credits. It was so perfect. Yeah, that's a pretty grim movie. I forgot about the ending. Like, because you're laughing and then you're like, oh shit, he actually killed her. We're still gonna watch Brother from Another Planet this Friday.
I'm thinking you should. I still love your collecting of infomercials and PSAs.
I'll think about that another time. I do need a bit more material to work with PSAs. Infomercials are pretty fun too, but I wanted to try.
You have to do it often. I'm just saying every now and then would be fun.
I'm thinking of doing FMVs. Like, I'm serious. Like, I'm thinking of pulling a Retsu Prey and just ripping FMV games. Night Trap, Harvester, Ground Zero, Texas.
No, we do need to have another fanfiction reading night.
We need to have a fanfiction reading night at some point. Yeah, we need to. Shit, I probably should have asked Matt to make me that room.
Oh no! What we'll do is just the where it says streams. That is a room in of itself, and he said just hop in there.
Okay, great. We'll do it there. But yeah, I'm thinking, doing FMVs. Like, have you ever tried to riff an FMV, Theta?
I have not.
Well, maybe because it's just Night Trap is goddamn brilliant. Like it's a movie that like they clearly like they nailed the tone of a crappy slasher film almost perfectly.
The first time I ripped a movie actually was not that long ago. It was either earlier this year or last year.
Which was it?
Sharknado.
Oh, that's the great starting point for people. Like if you're getting into the whole idea of riffing a film, that's a great place to start.
Yeah, it was pretty spontaneous, so we just ripped it with I just ripped it with my family.
Well, that movie just there's so much shit that you it's like I said, my dad and I watched it and we were just cracking jokes the whole thing. We loved the beach scene at the very beginning because he thought, when did this turn into Saving Private Ryan? Guy lost his leg, no one was helping him, someone got pushed off the stairs, which made us laugh almost like to the point we were crying.
We also ripped on Sharknado. We watched both Sharknado and Sharknado 2.
Oh, Sharknado 2 was pretty funny. The last, like, 30 minutes of that, I could not stop laughing.
Tara Reid goes full Ash from Evil Dead.
It goes full Ash, and then, like, my favorite moment is when the everyone's pulling, like, weapons out of the truck, and one dude just has a shitload of guns.
See, I totally called it at the beginning when Tara Reid got her hand bitten off. I'm like, she's totally gonna put some sort of weapon on her stump, on the stump where her hand used to be. I called it at the beginning of the movie, and she did it near the end.
That might be that might be a fun one. Not even to rip, but just to watch for the hell of it. Evil Dead. I think I kind of like the second Evil Dead a bit better than the first one.
Evil Dead 2, isn't it just basically a remake of 1?
Well, it's a fascinating case because it's like the first one was the original was a straight up horror film, and Sam Raimi added like weird slapstick gore. I think he took elements from like what Peter Jackson did back in when he did stuff like Brain Dead and Bad Taste. He made it almost a slapstick comedy with violence. Has anyone ever seen what's his name? Peter Jackson's gore movies?
I've seen Brain Dead.
Yeah, Brain Dead.
That kick-ass has priest, and then has two
priest,
zombies making a baby.
Oh yeah, no, my favorite scene of that is when the main character fights off the zombie baby in the park in broad daylight, and one of the homeless people is just cheering him on, like, yeah, kick that baby's ass. There's the classic lawnmower scene that is, oh Jesus, so much blood. Bad Taste is another one. That one's pretty fun.
Never heard of Bad Taste. What's that about?
That one's, it's about a group of aliens who run a fast food joint and come to New Zealand, because that's where the movie was shot, to kidnap random people and turn them into food. Keep in mind, this guy would go on to do Lord of the Rings.
And the version of King Kong, everyone goes, why?
I liked that. I liked that remake. I liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
The one movie I watched, the most recent movie I watched, that it was so bad that it wasn't even
riffable?
Yeah, it wasn't even riffable, was Ace Ventura Jr.
Fuck, you told us about this one.
Wait, you mean Ace Ventura Jr.?
This is a... Well, it's a shitty kids movie. Let's be honest, shitty kids movies are very fucking hard to sit through.
I forget who... No, you go first.
Oh, I was just agreeing with Neon. Yeah, they're damn near impossible to sit through.
Yeah, I've never seen a bad children's film I laughed at or thought was watchable. Like, I can't think of one.
Yeah. Right now, you remind me that I remember someone doing it. What he called the trilogy of Jim Carrey sequels with no Jim Carrey, which also includes Sons of Mask and that weird prequel to Dumb and Dumber.
Oh yeah, that was Mike J. Yeah, those were fun. Let's go on to the 80s now, because I don't think he actually archived his old stuff. Because he moved on to infomercialism. He kind of doesn't want to do that anymore.
It died, oh well, but it's more fun to see someone try to do new product and then find out some work, some work, but why do they exist, and some just don't work, and they should be ashamed of themselves.
If you ask me, I think he's trying to do what Ashton's does. If anyone watches him, he's a guy who basically what he does is he goes to the dollar store and reviews shitty products from local cheap markets.
That guy, I think I remember him a bit, but his video coming on was so sporadic, I gave up on trying to figure out if when he actually posts.
He's well, like I said, what his goal is, he will go to the flea market, buy random shit, and then he'll just review it. And he's been doing this for years, and some of them are fucking hysterical. Like, my favorite is when he does Poundland food, where he literally buys food from Poundland to see how terrible it is.
What is Poundland?
He's British. That's their version of the dollar store.
Okay.
He always has that awful couch in his oldest videos.
The name, now I just realized something. The doctor near me sells food, so now it makes better sense. I forgot the dollar or pound equivalent sell food. That's why I got confused. Because I didn't think a Dollar Tree type place would sell food.
Like I said, apparently Poundland does. He did. One of the fun ones he did was
I forgot they do that. That's why he was questioning.
Changing the topic. Can you describe what happened in Pet Ace Ventura Junior Place State? I would like to. I don't remember what you told us, so please refresh my memory.
Give me a minute. I'll be back. Just
I'm sure it was that kind of bad where it's just burrowed in your brain now. Yeah, we are doing another movie on Friday. We're doing a movie called Brother from Another Planet.
By the way, yes, I got the two I told you about, Zord Nemesis and Zord Vanquisher, are listed under FMVs.
Let me see if GOG has an FMV category. Yeah, apparently, folks. Oh shit. I love FMV. Textberg 07 guest is on there. Gabriel Knight, the Beast Within. Oh Jesus. Mist and Ribbon. I like the Mist and Ribbon games. Those games make no sense unless you have no idea, you know, because they're very cryptic. Wing Commander, those were brilliant. Like, those were actually genuinely good.
Alright, so, let's see if it has the actual synopsis on the back.
Yeah, you know what? I'm kind of excited. You know what? It's weird because probably why I like Towel so much because they remind me of Mist and Ribbon.
Alright, so first, let me go about how I acquired this.
Please.
The reason why I bought it is because it's a movie pack of 3 movies. It has Ace Ventura When Nature Calls, and Ace Ventura Pet Detective Jr. Got it at Walmart for $5. So I'm like, yeah, cool, why not? Because, hey, I don't have Ace Ventura or Ace Ventura When Nature Calls. I knew that Pet Detective was gonna be shit, and I'm like, maybe I'll get a couple laughs out of it, I don't know. So, I decided to watch it. No laughs to be had.
Okay, so what's the plot?
The plot is... Of course, Jim Carrey is not in the movie at all. You have a single mother and the main character who I don't even remember what the hell his name was supposed to be. But his mother is a zookeeper. So it starts with Ace Ventura Jr. wandering around the zoo, saving an animal, like saving a mouse or something. From like a mouse trap. He's trying to capture the mouse so he can humanely release it or something. At this time, he still looks normal. Still looks like, okay, he's a kid, whatever. there's a mystery there's some sort of mystery that happens. I don't remember. His mother ends up going on trial for something. I don't remember if an animal is kidnapped, if someone died. I don't remember. I try to block this fucking movie out of my mind.
Okay, fine.
But his mother is being framed for some sort of crime, and so she's in prison. She's in jail. So while she's in jail, his grandpa shows up. His grandpa is Ace Ventura's father. So grandfather starts telling Ace Ventura Jr. He starts going over the history of the Venturas, and so it goes all the way back to like Napoleon and all this shit, and of course they all had to somehow deal with animals, of course. So through some sort of bullshit coming of age, all of a sudden Ace Ventura Jr. he starts getting the his hair ends up going to the same style. Like he wakes up one morning and it's the style of Ace Ventura where you have the swoop in the front. So he sits there and he tries to comb it down, and it won't stay down. It keeps popping back, and you could tell that the kid was directed to be like Ace Ventura's character, but failing miserably at it.
Oh.
And so the kid ends up making promises to all these kids in the school, because of course all these kids have some sort of issue with pets they need to deal with. Like the cheerleaders need him to find out what happened to their mascot, which is a baby crocodile. There's this girl that he's crushing on who's having an issue with her fish, and so he has to try and solve that. There's some other kids that are having issues, so he's actually doing detective shit. But it's treated more as a side plot, because the main plot is his mother is in prison, and he starts working on that, and he ends up busting in the middle of the trial. And trying to say, yeah, it couldn't have been her because of this. Let me reenact this certain scene. And for some reason, the prosecution ends up poking a hole in it, instead of at the very beginning saying, Your Honor, we don't know who the hell this is. It doesn't matter that it doesn't matter that he's the child of the defendant. He needs to get the hell out of here. Objection. But no, of course, movie convenience says he's got to do this stupid bullshit thing. At the end of the movie, she ends up not being charged. They end up releasing her. It was just a huge ball of stupid.
I was just laughing. I'm like, fuck me, you sound like you just went through hell in a half basket.
You want to find the people who made the movie and burn them?
No,
because they made this film. I pity them.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm the dumbass because they technically made at least a little bit of money off me, or at least Walmart did. Oh, fuck me. They actually have extended scenes and gag reels.
They have a gag reel. Oh, fuck.
Oh, dear Lord. If it's on funny when they made the movie, I don't know what a gag reel of unfunny would look like.
And yet, for Ace Ventura: Pet Detective and When Nature Calls, they don't have a gag reel. They don't have deleted scenes. They only have the movie commentary for the first movie by the director, and the theatrical trailer and TV spots.
Huh. Sure. When did people actually start keeping, like, deleted scenes or...
Well, to be fair, I'm the weirdo who would watch that. I'm the kind of guy who listens to the director's commentary. I remember I listened to the one on the when I watched when I listened to watch the Raid 2, I decided to hear the director, and it's so weird because keep in mind this is an Indonesian martial arts film, and the director sounds like Stephen Fry. So no shit, that was the crazy part to me about that movie is the fact that it's an Indonesian martial arts film directed by, like I said, what looks to be Stephen Fry.
Yeah, I also like director's comedy, so you're not alone.
Well, it's fascinating because he talks to the director. It's like, I hate using glass, and I hated every scene we had to actually use glass. And you learned some interesting stuff. You learned during the car chase, they actually did swap the camera from different cars. It was apparently crazy to do. It took them 3 days to film the final fight in the kitchen because they had to actually hit each other. They had to make contact. See why it took 3 days, so that fight was fucking amazing. Fight.
I still don't know how I feel about When Nature Calls.
To be fair, that was, like I said, it's... You know what, it's weird, because I think the idea, Jim Carrey's idea of not doing sequels clearly proved itself well. You know what I mean?
There's only one sequel he has actually done. A sequel for Dumb and Dumber for some strange reason.
And then you did Nature Calls, that's about it, though. It appears to have paid off very well, though.
See, I don't know. Ace Ventura could be... It has promise of being a good series. Like actual series of movies or good TV shows. You just have to have the right writers.
You need to have people who know what the fuck they're doing, and yeah, that usually doesn't happen.
You can have a bunch of different cases that involve animals that Ace has to solve.
There is one bad children's film I've seen that I genuinely think would be real. I can't find it anywhere. I think I've told you about this. It's a movie called Playing Dangerous, and the only word, I shit you not, I swear I think this was supposed to be an R-rated movie that they repackaged as a kid's movie. Because, like, things just, it's very clear shit has been edited out. Like, people get shot and everything. In this, it's so hard for me to describe. I'll put it like this. Red Letter Media covered it, and they summed it up better than I ever could. It's fucking weird.
So somebody had to be hired from to go, let's turn this into a kids movie.
Well, it's weird because they had the thought process of, okay, the writer and the director, one of them liked Home Alone, the other liked Die Hard. So they thought, oh, we could stitch two together, that'll work just fine.
If we can find it, that it sounds perfect.
I cannot find it anywhere, but it's, from what I've seen of it, it's fucking mind-boggling. Like, what the fuck were you people thinking?
I love that the edit that someone put on YouTube where it has it takes that scene from Die Hard where Carl Winslow shoots
Urkel.
Yes.
That was so funny.
That was the best edit.
I think that was the thing to ever come out of what?
It really was. It was genuinely fucking brilliant. Ew. Like,
Portia was amping us up to see this amazingness.
I'll say this much, you know, I'll say this, one of my favorite things I remember when I used to submit for one of my favorites was hot cross buns that I submitted just because I got to hear everyone go, what the fuck? And I'm like, I did my job.
Yeah, that was what the... I'm still wondering, what the hell happened? I'm confused here. Hey, wait, one moment this happens? Wait, now this plot point happens out of nowhere? And... I can't make heads and tails of it still.
Cross bun.
That was like, I don't know how I found that, but I'm like, this is insane. This is so weird.
It was insane. Like, you go, one moment this happens, next moment something else happens, and you go, wait, was that? Did that happen? Wait, what? How'd you? What? You're left going. Was everything meant to happen, or did they have different ideas at different points and just meant it all together?
Well, I just love that. I love the intro to that video. It's time to play our favorite song, Three Blind Mice. Three blind mice, my dick. Hot cross buttons.
That's where it started my, I think my best theory on that it's, these people had different ideas, just started to change to different ideas at each moment and didn't give a fuck.
That or this was made by a deranged lunatic. I thought of that.
In order to keep my sanity, I have to assume the people that make this are like us, where they just like to see just insane shit.
Kimmy, I love crazy shit.
The ones that anime, probably, but some of them, you know, it's genuine and you need to slap the crap out of them.
Genuine? That sounds like a tasty beverage.
I said
Genuine.
I meant genuine. Genuine.
Is that a breed of pig or something?
I meant genuine. Genuine. I'm an idiot.
Oh, really? I'm gonna say genuine now.
I want to say it sounds like it would be a Merlot.
Oh, Ret Supre is gonna finish their Sonic 06 playthrough finally.
Who?
They're my favorite, probably my favorite channel on YouTube. What they are is what they used to do was they would actually riff shitty LP videos on the internet. Like people who would just like film Let's Play videos with a webcam off their television. That was what they used to do. They were like they were a bunch of guys from the Something Awful forums.
Okay.
They're the guys who really got me into FMV games because they just would riff these things and they were just complete sleaze, and I fell in love with them ever since. Yeah, but they've been riffing Sonic 06. That's the game they've been doing so far.
When did they start?
They started this like a year ago. It's taken them this long actually because they did a game called Afterfall, which was a Russian game about the end of the world that's like horribly translated and everything.
Reminds me of coming across something awful once of the horribly translated version of Pokemon from Vietnam.
Probably by those guys too. Yeah, like I said, all the riffing of games that were on the Something Awful.
It wasn't a riff. It was just somebody talking about it. It wasn't a video or something.
They've been doing this for like 10 years, by the way.
I should check it out at some point. And they probably had a big apology for taking so long to get back to Sonic.
We were doing them simultaneously, and the fact that Slow Beef, who's the leader, his PS4 fried, his PS3 fried, so he had to get a new one. And he had to play through the whole game off camera. Again.
Suffer through the bitch you hate the most.
He was angry. Let's just say he was like, I hate this. He's literally like, I hate this fucking game. Yeah, the Afterfall, that was fascinating because it was a Russian game that was like horrendously translated and everything. It's like I love what they call it. It's Dead Space developed by a budget company in Russia.
I need to probably check these guys out. I might end up. If it sounds like a like a thing I sometimes check out called Find a Computer Room, but stay focused on the goddamn game. They go insane and nuts.
They're great. Like I said, they have a whole bunch of. This is their channel. They have a bunch of stuff. Like I said, they finished Afterfall, and that was fast. That was more fascinating than funny. Yeah, but they're originally known for, like I said, making fun of people who did Let's Play videos, like really crappy ones. One of my favorites is one where they did a mega bad Let's Play, and a guy literally paused the game to answer his phone and one of them's like almost had a meltdown, and he's like, "How stupid you have to fucking be not to edit this!" He's screaming and everything.
Title for their videos is videos for 06. It says Sonic 06 making Sonic Boom look like Sonic 06.
And that's the titles. Like I said, Afterfall was called Dead Space meets Fire Axes. Yeah, but the Sonic 06 playthrough has been very fun.
What?
It's not really a playthrough, it's more like an MS3TK riff more than anything.
Ah! Well, I can definitely see that because I watched FCRC do a Let's Play of Banjo-Kazooie, and they all just basically went off on all sorts of tangents, memes, and singing that had nothing to do with the game.
Yeah, they did Harvester, which is my favorite thing they ever did. Dark Seed, which was H.R. Geiger's game. They've done a lot of shit. They did. I think they've done all. They've done King's Quest 5, 6, and 7 as well. Oh fuck! What is that, Reese?
The final boss.
Looks like something out of a fucking H.R. Geiger artwork. Jesus. To be fair, I know Aliens was a huge inspiration on a lot of video games.
Especially Konami games.
Yeah, I mean, Metroid, Doom. You know what I mean? I seriously think like Aliens, like James Cameron's Aliens, is right up there with like H.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings.
Aliens greatly inspired Contra, especially the cover.
I've said this, like there are three sources that games take the most inspiration from. Tom Clancy's tech conspiracy books, H.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, and James Cameron's Aliens. Those are the three biggest inspirations games take from.
In fact, Aliens was such an inspiration to Konami that they even made an Aliens arcade game.
Yeah, like I said, it's probably, like I said, the Godfather, one of like the biggest inspiration. Like literally, without Aliens, the first-person shooter would have probably never existed because that was at the time. id Software's favorite film. Like they would watch that almost religiously.
You know, am I the only person that thinks that maybe Contra probably would have been the greatest movie of all time if they actually got the two actors that Konami was trying to portray on the cover?
I mean, like I said, we have Alien. Like Aliens is literally just a Contra movie. It literally is just every fucking 80s action game made into a single film.
But yeah,
you know what I mean?
You know who those two are supposed to be on the cover, right?
They're supposed to be Stallone and Schwarzenegger, right?
From which movies?
One was from of course, one was from one. They were supposed to be Rambo, and Schwarzenegger was supposed to be the other guy from. I don't remember his name from Predator. No, I was gonna say John Matrix, but no, that's Commando.
I'm gonna say, yeah, it's probably Dutch Boy from Predator.
That was his name?
Dutch Boy.
I never remembered his name, because let's be honest, that's not what really his name was not what we remember from that movie.
I got a set of their videos called Kickstarter Non-Starters.
Oh, that's another great video they do, Wheel Girl. They riff shitty Kickstarter projects and videos and everything.
But yeah, they shorten.
What I understand, they call it
Wheel Girl.
But yeah, they
Oh.
shortened his name to Dutch in the NES game. Okay, go ahead, Wheel Girl.
Okay. Sorry about that. I was gonna ask, and one thing I need to make clear: what do they mean by RPing the LPer?
That's the series they got really famous for. They would riff Let's Play videos. By that, like I said, they would riff people who make shitty YouTube Let's Plays, like people who couldn't.
Yeah,
just watch it. You'll see what I mean. Just
Yeah, they have. I only found their set. They call their second set so far.
their first set. Like I said, they're still pretty much all the same. Like I said, my favorite is their Mega Man one. I've never heard Slow Beef get that angry. Never.
And on that note, that was Gradius 2 by Konami for the
You can
NES.
listen through these games.
These aren't long games. They're like an hour piece.
But they take a lot longer because you still have to master it. But once you master it, yeah, it doesn't take long to beat it. And that's why